Hey, Internet. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. Today, I got 3 rapscallions with me. Got my sketchy friend, Rob. Got my Jiggity James friend, James. And we got Don Johnson himself, Chris Spreezy. How's it going, guys?
Really good. Really good. Enjoying my weekend.
Yeah. So this week we had a...
Hold on. Right
now, I gotta ask: is Chris?
I don't know, but I'm jamming out.
Is Chris rocking the no socks look?
No, I'm wearing socks. Definitely.
Oh man, come on! You got to complete the ensemble. No socks.
But he has no pants on. That's the big twist.
Yeah,
that's the big twist.
No
pants.
Baller move.
Jason's full first hand. I'm not wearing pants. So.
Yeah, it's one of the rules of the show. You can't do the show with pants on.
Hold on.
You're all shit. So about, I don't know, how many days was it ago, Chris? We're like talking like a few days ago. We had that article that went out, and we're like, oh, there's gonna be footage soon.
Yeah,
gonna be footage soon, and there's gonna be the marketing ramp up is going to begin. And then I think today we saw the first little pew pew of it. Yeah, there's an article. There's the article on the composer, and there's an article, or not an article, but 2 film covers, 2 magazine covers from Total Film that came out, and this is the first one. I made an article on MakingStarWars.net that gets into like the gist of it, and you can follow the links from there if you want them. But yeah, I gotta say it's a bit basic in a way, but it looks fucking good. I mean, he looks good. I mean, obviously he's Obi-Wan Kenobi, but one of the comments I had to make in the article was like, whoever in 1997 said, you know, that guy in Trainspotting, we should see if he'd be a good Obi-Wan. That fucking person deserves a Christmas bonus, like retroactively or something.
Oh, I've been snorting that bonus since
it was Rick McCallum.
Rick allegedly like, McCallum.
Yes.
Yeah. Very careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who first pitched the idea of him, but as I was looking at this without naming anybody to be an asshole against anybody, but every now and then they cast somebody in a role, and you're like, well, now that's the person who's that character forever. Nothing we can do about that now. But
tell that to Terrence Howard.
But no, but thank God, yeah, right. But I mean, obviously, without pushing buttons for no. Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not saying you can't recast. You obviously can. But
Cara Dune.
You know, yeah, that's the one place where you would think that they would have done it and they like didn't. But my point is that they got it right the first fucking time, and now here we are 20 years later, and the guy looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, if I had seen a picture of him as an 8-year-old boy, I wouldn't have had to go, who the fuck is that? I would know that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, you can tell. I mean, the robe is kind of a thing, but Anakin wears the robe too, and I don't ever think that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, you just totally get it. Like, it works all this time later, and I think that's pretty amazing.
The only person that would have been better, had he been younger, Kenneth Branagh.
And that's who was rumored to be it back when they were saying they were going to make it in 94.
Yeah.
When they were going to, when it was supposed to be out by about 1994, Kenneth Branagh was like the number one front runner for that and all of the articles and stuff. And I was wondered if maybe they thought Ewan looked like a young Branagh, and that's what got him into the mix. Or if maybe they saw Trainspotting and were like, that's an amazing movie, we should look at him. And he happens to look a lot like Kenneth Branagh.
I almost wonder if Anakin had been not a kid, if he had been like 15, 16, Branagh would have been picked, and they just would have shortened the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like,
yeah.
I think that the decision for Anakin to be a kid sort of then plays on the side actors, like a sort of whoever you cast for all the other roles kind of thing.
For sure. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, because they were also looking at what's his face? Whoa, did I just fuck up the? Well, I think I just fucked it up. They were also looking at, what do you call it? What's his name? From Lost Boys, Young Guns.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland. That was the other guy who was apparently in contention, and so But like I said, they got it right the first time. That rarely happens in this old Star Wars world that we live in, and so I am excited that as I'm seeing him even further here, that like I just feel like the essence of the character is there. Every now and then, I feel like you look at an actor playing a character, and if you just look at the picture just of them in the role, you know when they're in it and when they're not. Sometimes every now and then you're like, I'm looking at Daisy Ridley right now. I'm definitely not looking at Rey. It happens. Sometimes it does happen. But not to pick on her, but you know what I'm saying. And it's like whenever every single thing I've seen from released and not from the film fucking just says that he's got it. He's got it. And that means a lot to me. And also Dayu's looking fucking great too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that Dayu or it looks
yeah,
like it.
Yeah, it's Dayu back there, and it's in no way do I think that we should get fucking worried about anything at all. But if I did have one place where I could go, where should we be worried about the look of this series? It's going to be when we get to like the rooftop chase, and we're having we have like one shot really in that trailer of the fifth brother walking towards the camera with some stormtroopers. Yep. Looks great to me. And then we have the other shot of Obi-Wan on the roof after he's left the spice den on that chase. Looks great too. But how is it going to look when we see the next 36 shots? That's my question. That's like
I wouldn't overthink it. Some of those shots, I think we overthink a little bit. Some of the density in visual effects, like in Rogue One, when they're on that first moon planet, which has a similar vibe on some level. Mm-hmm. That density kind of comes from just production budget. So like per shot. So every shot requires a certain level of density, right? Like it's so dense, to quote McCollum. Mm-hmm.
It's so they just wait, hold on. It's so dense.
So dense. It's just so amazing. I'm just here to
so
do every
dense.
I love when in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles when he just has like a table and he's in a closet. And he's kind of upgraded to like a Walmart manager's office by the prequels. Like they spent a lot of money on that.
Like, whenever I see any footage from Young Indy, I look at them and myself included and go, look at us all before we started eating our emotions. But
I mean, I don't know. Like I think sometimes we. Like your memory of what something looked like Blade Runner didn't look like the Blade Runner Valley in every shot in Blade Runner. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't. Sure. You just have a memory of that. Video games don't help either because you can get that that visual density in every shot now in a game. And it's just I think like games really do compete with our taste in visual effects now. For better or for worse.
Well, there's so many productions that shortchange. They have these really dark settings so they can hide stuff. I just saw Secrets of Dumbledore, and everything was.
Sorry.
I know. Yeah. Hey, I'm blaming my for this one. So
sorry, I can't help it. It just comes out. I didn't mean it.
But everything was shot in such a shallow depth of field. Everything was blurry outside of like the main central item in the shot. So they could literally have done God knows what in the background and no one would have noticed. And I don't know if that was intentional or if they were trying to save on budget, but it annoyed the hell out of me watching that movie because everything was blurry except for like one guy.
Yeah. No, I like the look, but Batman had that same look and I actually prefer it to everything in focus like in the prequels. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, when
I
you
haven't seen this movie, so I don't know your specific, but if we, Are you talking about you saw the Batman? Could we talk?
Yeah.
Could we both see?
Yeah.
So like very similar depth of field. Like
the difference being seeing like say a Batman and say the Phantom Menace is there's a lot of stuff in the background of the Phantom Menace that's actually interesting that I want to see. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything in the Batman. It's not like who's that guy sitting in the corner of the bar there. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So the density works better on Star Wars or a Harry Potter than it does on say Batman, where it's not that particularly interesting. The background, it's Gotham. It's a dirty, grungy city.
Okay.
and they filmed it where I live, so I see that shit every
I
day.
mean, I think because it's artificial environment, when you really get down to it, it just depends on if it was real, how would it look? Would it be in focus if it was real? Or if it was in New York City, would you use that same focus? I think that's ultimately like probably what matters.
Yeah.
But I haven't
Focus
seen it either.
pulling is a
So
crazy job. It's something that I
Mhm.
didn't understand too much until I made friends with the cinematographer. You know, he's like, check
Yeah.
out the focus pull, and I'm like, that's a what? You know, it's a
Mhm.
real trick. And then you really start to respect some of those Spielberg shots when you understand, you know, Hitchcock and Kurosawa, like how hard it is to get the focus to go where you need it to go with a lens, you know. And then when they're trying to mimic that in CGI, especially like with this tech, I don't know, like those camera tricks are still difficult, you know, like in an Unreal Engine sort of way. So,
Mhm.
and I mean, a lot of what the volume does is the similar technology. So it's yeah, but I don't know. I just think some people go, it looks cheap. I'm like, all right, you go show me a fan film that's getting anywhere near it. Just, I'll get back to you. You know, like
So
sure,
when I
doesn't
look
look
at this
cheap. Like,
at this cover right here, I get two vibes off of it. The first is the Return of the Jedi poster. That was the teaser poster where you have the hands and just the saber going up, you know, which is an awesome poster. They'd actually probably never come close to topping that in modern times, I think. But it also, because it's a magazine cover, I feel like it could be like Omni, and it's like some dude created a lightsaber, and it's like our interview with Jim Jules, the creator of the lightsaber. Doesn't it kind of have that like 80s like tech
I think
vibe
in
kind of
Mad
thing?
Magazine, you open it up and it's Rian Johansson, and they're going, "Fooled you," you know, and you're like, "Oh fuck."
No, actually, if you open up, it's a bottom flap, and it's the rest is going into Ewan's mouth. He's like, it's weird. I don't know what it means, but
Is Frank Oz driving his car when you open it up? Yeah.
Good times.
yeah.
But Jason, you did a show yesterday with about the game and that, but you haven't really told us. Like, can you tell us much about the footage that's coming up and the marketing push and that? So that's basically started already, hasn't it? It started with a leaked promo image yesterday, and then today we got the two covers. So any day now we're expecting new footage, right?
Yeah, I mean, based off of the fact that we were told by reputable, proven sources, footage is coming, and the ramp up is coming, and then here we are now. Is it 2 days later? I think we had yesterday, and then today, and then now you got a Vanity Fair piece. You got two covers. So I think I was in the next like 7 days from when the article. So I think within the next 5 days, we should have some actual footage.
It's pretty exciting.
And,
Well, Dale Erdman posted on our comment section last night.
Die. I know where you live.
Sci-fi Sci-Fi delivers sneak peek at Star Wars Obi-Wan comic, 5-issue miniseries. So it's funny. He did that. I was like, and like, but I imagine that's probably they consider that all part of the same publicity package, I guess, to an extent. Like once May starts, it's Obi-Wan, until May 27th or 29th. What 27th? Yeah.
27th. Yeah.
So that footage doesn't hit on the 4th.
No, we got breaking news. Breaking news.
The 4th is for Coupon.
Breaking news. I said. Breaking news.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Sorry, Rob, but I just got really excited.
I like your breaking news. It's like Alex says, breaking news, people.
It's fucking news. It's breaking. It's broken, and it's about BestBullets.com. Okay, get my fucking face about it.
Come on here. Come on, breaking news.
Yeah, no, Rev is not in it. Okay, Rev is not in this one. Okay, fuck.
I will eat your ass. Can't do it. Sorry, I'll shut up. News.
You have a steak knife and chop on it if I have to. Exclusive. So if you remember earlier in the week, so usually MakingStarWars.net and Bespin Bulletin's websites they have sex. They have website Star Wars news sex. They make it. They mate.
Get it
Like
on.
yeah, they get it on like super hard, super rough. It's really gross. And then but this week, Making Star Wars was cheated on because Meg dropped that Masamita is going to be in Andor, and it was kind of
Masachita.
Masachita, Masachita the Mita is going to be it's going to be that's his fighting name, Masamita the Cheetah. He back in his youth. Anyways, though, and then Bestman had this information. Both of these cats were sitting on this stuff for a long time. I'm in no way responsible for any of it, but I was like, they need to talk because this stuff is kind of connecting here. And so exclusive Imperial Royal Guards to appear in Andor. So like in his heart? What do you mean? Let me read on to find out. Today, I'm bringing you a small tidbit I heard from Andor following a report by another content creator, though I must stress this is just a rumor, so take it as so. I was first told of an Imperial Royal Guards appearance in Andor well over 6 months ago, but thought nothing much of it. This information didn't come from a regular source. However, it's now something I've heard off and on for a number of months following, but not from my usual trustworthy sources. And that is why I'm stressing you to take this information as a rumor. And he writes it like that because he's a fancy British lad. And right here, he's talking about a fancy British lass. I think that's what they call it. Or is it lassie? Or is that a dog? I don't know. The reason I'm running this piece as a rumor is due to recent reports from Star Wars Meg, previously reported the Hutts would appear in Fett, who has heard that Masamita is making an appearance in the upcoming Rogue One spinoff series Andor, and his scenes are set in present day and not flashbacks. Amita was vice chair of the Galactic Senate and became the Grand Vizier of the Galactic Empire once Palpatine declared himself Galactic Emperor. The setting I was told the Royal Guards appear was that the Senate. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm making this work. So with Meg's report and my information, the two seems to support one another. And here he is. We are safe. What? That's not what you say. He says, order, order. And by the way, I got to say, I gave Bespin a heart attack the other day because when Meg was doing her article, I used this picture as the featured image. And then I did it. And then I kind of forgot about it. I did it like the night before. And then we started talking and I knew that his story was coming on this. And then I changed Masamita on the featured image and he saw it and he was like, what the fuck, man? Like at first when he saw it, thinking I was putting out his thing, I was like, no, hey, sorry, man. But he was
so angry. He just wants to fight.
No, I'm just amped up because I get excited about Star Wars sometimes, you know. But no, he's super nice. He was like, "Oh man, you gave me a fucking heart attack, man," and I was like, "Oh no, sorry." And I was like, "I'll change it if you think it's like getting too close." And he was like, "No, it's fine." But basically, like, here we go, Mas, Amita the Cheetah, and the Royal Guards. So there we go. Right here, we got Meg walking down the street. Got Bespin Bulletin following along. So it makes sense. So it's just nice to have any kind of Andor stuff in this day and age, because Andor kind of has a hard time getting arrested. All hell, Lambhead. Thank you. Which is every so often we must give praise to Lambhead himself. If we don't, the show will go down. I'm
actually a puppet right now. Lambhead's actually, controlling
Lambhead,
my emotions.
He's an avatar of Lambhead. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's true. Yeah.
It's just an excuse to have a hand up your ass, James.
Hey, don't kink shame me.
Yeah. You don't need any excuse. You could just say, you know what? I need a little extra today.
If I start grazing and just give out a bah here and there, you know why.
Oh man.
Now I do.
So right here is where we talk about the new love of my life. She's just sort of, sweet baby angel. That's what I call her. So Vanity Fair has confirmed that Obi-Wan Kenobi composer Natalie Holt reveals haunting approach. The first woman to score a live-action Star Wars project teams with John Williams, who contributed a new theme for Ewan McGregor's Exiled Jedi by Anthony Breznican. Used to be friends, but then somebody said something bad about me, so we're not friends anymore. Because that's how the world works, I guess. Composer Natalie Holt just received a greeting card in the mail expressing gratitude for work that until now has been secret from the world. It's Darth Vader, surrounded by stormtroopers, she says, showing off the cover during a Zoom call. And it says, we do everything for him, but does he ever say thank you? And I thought it was so much fun. I love it. The Vader card came from Obi-Wan Kenobi, showrunner and director Deborah Chow, aka It's Chow Time, congratulating Steve Holt, for sorry, I can't help it.
No,
for completing the music
wrong dude.
to the upcoming
Nicholas Holt is
Disney
also
Plus.
incorrect.
But Holt, who composed I wonder if she gets it a lot, the ticking clock themes to Marvel's Loki series, will next work on DC's upcoming Batgirl film. She says she is, and she said she's the thankful one. Blah 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 blah, just blah 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 blah. Oh, obviously, I was just thrilled to be mentioned in the same breath as John Williams. Holt says it was exciting and overwhelming at times because I'm such a fan. I want to pay respect to the history of it and do it justice as well. Holt, the first woman to score a live-action Star Wars project, spoke exclusively with Vanity Fair about what fans can expect to hear when Obi-Wan Kenobi debuts on May 27th. Side note, really quickly, told you guys, JW fan, you don't fuck with those cats. They know their shit every time, and they had that those boards had this. Vanity Fair says, I know your involvement has been secret until now, but have we heard any of your work in the teaser for the show? And she says, nope. No, it's all still under wraps. The music in the trailer is Duel of the Fates by John Williams from The Phantom Menace. No, duh. I knew that. How can you tell me? What can you tell me about your approach? How did you begin developing the music of the show? She says, well, I think I've always been a huge Star Wars fan. I watched the original trilogy with my dad when I was 5 years old. So the music from John Williams basically narrated my childhood, E.T., Raiders, Jurassic Park. So yeah, my starting point was just being a huge fan of the music for the show already. I'm a violinist and I come from an orchestral background. So I've been able to do something on the epic scale with these big forces. So I'm curious if she wants to maybe, start like a Jethro Tull cover band, she could just like do the instrumentation, whichever wants to, let me know. How did you and Williams come to work in tandem? Well, the weird thing is that John Williams' approach is that we must ride a tandem bike everywhere we go so that we become completely linked. Once, okay, it doesn't say that.
Like
Obi-Wan
Death
is Obi-Wan is a legacy character that John hadn't written a theme for because he died quite early in A New Hope. It's the only legacy character that he hadn't done. So he spoke to Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy and said, I just want to write Benny a theme. Benny Safdie? Huh? You talking about Nari, fool? Talking about Nari right now? You writing a Nari theme? No, he says, I just want to write
Benny the Cab.
I thought it was Benny Hill.
That's what he does.
That was already done on Boba.
Yeah, so who can deny him that? And he did. He wrote the Obi theme, and it just embodies the spirit of the show entirely. So up front, a couple of things that I think are noteworthy here is that if the Force theme was Obi-Wan's theme, he had already done it, and then they just fucking changed it once they continued to make more Star Wars stuff, and it became more about using the Force. I honestly think in Empire Strikes Back, when we fucking hear the theme coming up again, it's supposed to be a callback to Obi-Wan's actual teachings. But then once you get to the prequel era, especially, I mean, it was already renamed to the Force theme. But once you get to the prequel era, especially, it's like, how is it Obi-Wan's theme now? It became bigger than the character itself. But I gotta say, just because it's John Williams doesn't mean it's a hit. We keep talking. Me and Rob talked about this week the solo of Star Wars theme song. That sucks. I gotta be honest with you. It's very basic. It's the most basic bitch Star Wars theme I've ever heard. Same thing with the Galaxy's Edge theme. No thanks. Don't really need it. Doesn't really do much for me. Pretty much anybody would have done just as well of a job. So John Williams and the magic, it doesn't go hand in hand necessarily every time. But I do have to say, they can't talk about Leia. I am still adamant he's done work on this is from nowhere. This is just from my little black heart. I think he's done work on the Leia music too, and I just don't think that they can tell you because she's off the table. You can't acknowledge her anywhere. We're pretending that everybody doesn't know that little Princess Leia is running around and is giving people rocks for being in the show.
To see if she's in any of the new footage when it if she's completely hidden or if they show her, because everyone knows she's in the series. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see if they show her in any of the new footage we get.
I'm curious if, just to talk about that for 1 second. So Leia's out of the bag. We pretty much know her whole angle, know what Leia does. We know why. We got it all, right? So with that in mind, you said it, Chris. We got it. And so with that in mind, does it matter? I guess like our general. I feel like hardcore fans are the ones that are going to be like, oh my god, and then whereas average people are going to be like, oh, it's Princess Leia, she's a kid, okay. They're not really going. I don't think they're really going to care. So I kind of wonder if it makes sense to hold it back or not, or is it?
I'm looking forward to them complaining that putting Princess Leia in a Star Wars story is woke feminism.
Oh no!
You'll see. You'll see. Well, she's standing up to Vader. She's a little kid. He kills kids. That's how my Vader kills kids. Been doing it since Attack of the Clones. That's what he does. Just put up with this shit. Just kills him. You wait. You wait.
Yeah.
37.
I mean, it's. I guess it's always weird that there's I guess that's a lot of work to do a layout on a rollout on a big show and stuff like that. But it's almost weird that there's never that we know of anyways, a plan B. If everybody knows, why dance around it? You know what I'm saying? I honestly think that it this piece would have got, if there is, for instance, if it's just an if there is a Leia component to this whole thing, this piece would have been a lot better with it. And instead, it can't be talked about. And then what happens is you have I don't know, I call it spoiler sickness. After something has come out, it's not, everybody feels so oppressed about the info that they still don't really talk about it. Like there's stuff from episode 9 with about Rey's parents and shit, where there's I don't know what I could say because we filmed so much just bullshit. I don't know what I could say. And it's it's been 2 years now. I think you could say whatever you want, probably.
Yeah.
I feel like this unwilling to talk about it is really them trying to replicate the Grogu trick, right? The little, no one mentioned it. There was no marketing, no toys, no nothing. Just surprised everyone. You're not going to get a bunch of little Leia dolls.
They're high.
They're
high. If you're right, they're fucking high. Because I mean, that better be some fucking Gary Coleman-ass cuteness that they're pulling out of that kid. Because I've only seen that one other time, and it was Gary Coleman and maybe Webster.
I'm sure you'll have some source because they don't think Leia's the next Grogu, but it's the same idea. We kept the secret. We're going to keep the secret, and we want something to surprise them. When you saw the Yoda, you didn't expect it. That's where in this case it's it's not that big a deal.
Well, let me play devil's advocate. Would Disney, knowing how much money they made on Grogu merch, would they keep it under wraps like they did now? Because, I mean, they missed out on a lot of merchandising potential when that show first hit. Did they look at that as a missed opportunity financially and therefore a big mistake, or did they see that as a huge success?
I think they believe their own bullshit so much they think that the secrecy around Grogu helped with the success of it. That I think that it almost, I'm almost gonna, this is assumption on my part, but I think that if they take leaks and their failures as well, I guess that's why, rather than owning their actual failures just for what they are, I think that they will oftentimes, if we just had that 20% more pizzazz from the secrecy, we would have made something important here with episode 9. And instead, people are asking, what?
Look, that secrecy didn't help Boba Fett. It not at all. And I just I mean, I've hung out with some of these marketing people. I've heard their theories on. They tend to go, this this worked before, so it's going to work again every time. You know, the person who conjured up Grogu being a secret was not a marketing person. That's like a Favreau, Kennedy. That's a top-down leadership. Like we're pulling it. We're keeping the secret. No one. That's not a market. They'll throw it on anything. They don't give a shit. But then when it works, they go, now we gotta. That's the trick. Well, we could just replicate this. You know, like every time, gotta give them something. Where if they know everything, they're not gonna go see it. It's like it's Star Wars. Like
what's funny though is you can invert it though. And I think if you do, you probably, I don't know. I'm curious if you do, if you make more money over time, like BB9E, I would pay to not have to buy BB9E merchandise right now. But if you put it out before the movie, a lot of suckers going to buy some BB9E bullshit. I got the BB9E Funko Pop signed by the guy who did the lighting in the scene that he was in. And it's like,
how'd that work for Dio?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Dio. By the way, I've been working on my review for episode 9, and boy, did they really fuck up putting Dio and BB-8 and that little dude. What's that little dude's name right now? I'm trying to blank on his name.
Ochi?
Babu Frick.
Ochi's a big guy. Babu Frick in the same scene. You
Yeah.
literally caused a but like I said, dummies thinking binary, and only one is gonna win. They're like, Coke or Pepsi. Coke or Pepsi. And so at the end of the day, their new character, who was their main push, lost to Babu Frick.
Yeah.
So anyways, how did John Williams? So okay, Obi-Wan is a legacy character that John hadn't written for a theme for, and then we already talked about that. So Vanity Fair asks, how does this contribution fit in with the broader music you created for the show? She says, for me, the tent poles are set out by John Williams. There are elements to the show that are new and fresh, and I've been able to have my own interpretation with elements. I'm guessing Dayu, that I can't reveal. So it's been glorious working with my hero and also bringing my own voice to the show.
You think the composer that does amazing synth music will do something original for a Blade Runner looking planet?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you on that one.
Well, we did hear. I mean, just if you are looking for an example, Attack of the Clones, when they go to Tatooine and you have Anakin and Padme on the rickshaw, if I'm remembering correctly, I think that music does do a little bit more of what they call it, cultural sounds or something, and there's a bit of that at play there. So even if she, and I'm sure she's the most astute person in the world, because I think what she did with Loki is shows good scholarship. That's what I would say. She went for a certain theme, a certain time, and really just got that synth completely correct though. So how would you describe his new Obi-Wan theme? I don't know. How about you guys fucking show us, Lucasfilm? How about you give them the fucking snippet? Because once the show
Don't you love
comes
it when
out,
people describe music?
yeah,
It just puts it all in your head, don't it?
it really does.
Like I literally went do, and half you don't even know what I'm doing. Like, could you imagine describing the Miami Vice theme song? You know,
Yeah.
So fucking describing music. You know, it's like, you know, makes you happy.
Yeah.
Read it.
I mean,
this is gonna be great.
or even if it was just a video with them interviewing her and she's fucking busted out the violin, was like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's coming to town. Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's here to stay. Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I would be like,
you know, I think the Coors did a cover of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they're really good with the violins. Those girls. Brilliant.
Okay, so she says it's reflective and it's just entirely appropriate, and it distills what the show is about in just the perfect way that John Williams can. It's wistful, but there's an element of hope to it. It's doing something new, and I think people are going to be really blown away by it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tough. You can't describe music. It's so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
That's how you end up with words like
speaking.
hearty and wistful. Never heard wistful used in a sentence before.
Yeah.
Well, maybe in
I don't
Idaho
play
they
it.
don't use that, you know.
That's
I don't even have a
because
definition of wistful, to be honest with you.
That's because she's a sweet baby angel and she uses words like that. All right. What ideas did you begin to put together when Deborah Chow
Creepio in the house.
first approached you? How would you describe your process for Obi-Wan Kenobi? Deborah and I met when she flew to London, and we spent 2 days watching through the material. It wasn't really cut together at that point, so we just spent the time together and talked through the journey of all the characters and what needed to happen. We kicked off a 2-day intensive 2 days immersion into it. Deborah's just done a fantastic job, and obviously, Ewan's just delivering the performance of his career as well. I'm very excited for people to see it. You mentioned so that's that's encouraging. She wasn't like, oh, this guy's giving us prequel level acting, so to speak. You mentioned that you're a violinist. Do you perform in the score, or are you strictly composing? I do, actually. I am singing and I'm playing viola, and I'm playing some violin in there too. So yeah, I am performing on the score. Oh, that's cool. Fucking doing it
Awesome.
yourself, getting your hands dirty.
Okay.
After that 2-day immersion, what was your writing and recording process? I tried to come up with themes that I feel are catchy. La, 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 la. And I had some time
You know how John Williams came up with this in the shower. And his wife's like, shut up!
Fuck up, John. Go to fucking sleep, bro. I had some time just to integrate the theme.
Don't hit me.
So I tried to come up with themes that I feel are catchy. I had some time to just integrate what the theme should be for each of the characters, and then bring them to life and put them to picture. Getting to record here in LA on Fox Newman's scoring stage with the most talented musicians in the town, it's just been a dream. I'm working with the same orchestra that John Williams uses as well. All of his key players were playing for me. So that explains that picture we saw a little while ago, and with the rumors that Williams was that Star Wars was the LRM Online, I want to say, who broke that, maybe. And yeah. So, anyways, obviously,
a visual of Jim Gaffigan doing the Hot Pockets jingle.
Hot Pockets.
What do you got? Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
You need to sample that, Jason.
You could eat pizza anytime. Obviously, you want to fit into the Star Wars universe and the themes and music that have come before. But I'm really struck by what the TV shows have done in terms of breaking away from tradition, too. As with Ludwig Göransson's compositions for The Mandalorian, how would you characterize the balance of what you tried to accomplish? Well, first, I want to say that Ludwig's a little bitch, and I could literally rock the house with the mic while he can't get up because he is a fake-ass MC.
Rock the house. Rock the house.
I actually like what he does. It's just not John Williams, is it? I think it's an emotional score, and it does have its roots in Star Wars tradition a little more than The Mandalorian does. We had a collection of 250 horns and flutes, and I used the hunting horn in the score. We're also blending the orchestra with some more modern synth sounds as well. Fuck yeah, let's fucking get crazy like Devo. It's definitely what we're used to, and a few new elements. So I'm going to say that probably what you were hitting on with Dayu right here was with those modern synths. That might be where you would potentially use something like that.
Possibly even the Inquisitors.
It's going to sound like the end of Revenge of the Nerds. It's got violin. It's got synths.
Don't throw shade.
That would be fucking
lambda.
That song's badass.
All right.
Ewan does the robot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like when like Lamar does his rap too. It's fucking cool. Anyways, I think that the hunting horn's probably going to be what we hear for the Inquisitors. What do you think?
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does. They are hunters, but yeah, who knows? Hopefully it's good. There are quite a few dark side characters in the series. We have Inquisitors in the show. Invader turns up at one point. What instruments are best for conveying dark side themes? Well, there's the hunting horn. That sounds just like a hunting horn. You hear it, and he just does something. It stirs your guts. It's so haunting. And I was working with Brian Kilgore, the percussionist, who's got these incredible, unusual instruments. it's that jarring rhythmic texture that we've been playing with. So that sounds fun.
It'd be really nice if they had some sound samples here. You know,
I know.
anything.
It really would.
I need to get her name really quick. There is a podcast I listen to that she focuses on. It's man, she's British, but she focuses on musical scores and composers. Soundtracking with Edith Bowman.
Okay.
I would imagine on soundtracking with Edith Bowman, she'll eventually have Natalie.
Yeah.
Holt on there.
Like, you could also hear my Natalie Holt podcast. Holt It 1 Second is what it's called, and it's just about every second of her music and what she's up to and what she's doing. Sweet baby angel. Who are some of your other collaborators on Obi-Wan? I was lucky enough to be working with Chris Vogel as well, who is Ludwig's engineer and engineered The Mandalorian. He engineered my music and recorded it with me here. I was mixing it at Ludwig's studio. I'm such a huge fan of Ludwig as well, so it's great to meet him as part of this journey. Did you incorporate any particular culture or influences from the real world? It's always a thing with Star Wars, finding that Dixieland piece in the cantina. It's taking
good old racist aliens.
it's taking things that were familiar with Earth and giving them a twist. So there's some of that with some of the instruments and some of the other themes that we hear in the series. There are some new worlds that we're introduced to coming up with the sound. Each world has its own character. And then right here, you can see a little synth right here, a little bit of piano, a little sweet little baby angel. What are some other musical genres that factored in there? There are some Latin influences in one of the other planets. There's some Thai, Hong Kong, some sounds that are more Eastern. Definitely, you take flavors from around the world. You then try and turn them into something otherworldly. You're on Star Wars. You're scoring a planet. It has to have scale. So sounds like it won't be as far away from John Williams as the early Clone Wars stuff was, but it will probably move, in my opinion, based off of this, when Clone Wars started to emulate, when Kiner started to emulate John Williams a bit more while still blending what they had started in Clone Wars. I think that's what we might be kind of getting here. But
how early did the Revenge of the Sith score come out before the film? Because I remember it being out quite early. Like
it leaked as MP3s on a Russian site for 99 cents.
I probably paid it because I had it way early. I was at Kinko's. I was listening to it. Like, I'm just thinking, like, it was like, I want to say almost 4 weeks. Like, it was almost a month before the movie came out that we had the score. Like, it was quite a while. Like, so it might be 2 weeks, and I'm remembering it wrong. But
in modern times, I will say I don't understand why they don't release a soundtrack, track 1, track 2, track 3, no fucking titles, and then update the titles post-release. That way you can give people the music and not spoil what the stuff is. Because I did find I enjoyed the prequels a lot more than most films from the fact that it was John Williams. I was already listening to the soundtrack. I liked it, and when I saw the music I was enjoying with pictures, I was also enjoying it. It was a heightened experience. I think that we should not pretend that we're living in 1992 and that once a track's titled, it can't be retitled, because you can do it whenever you want to. It's completely fucking possible.
Like, more Qui-Gon's end wasn't the end.
Yeah, Qui-Gon's noble end.
It was a lie. Keep going.
It's actually called Qui-Gon's Noble Bell End, and it's a dribble of a tune, isn't it? That's for my British friends. Can you tell me more about the musicians you work with? God, stop. Why keep asking about musicians, man? Because I'm a violinist. I'm always working with a big fan, James Enns. I'm going to how you say it, who's a Canadian soloist. I've been wanting him to play on one of my scores for a long time. He happened to be in LA doing a concert on one of our soloing dates, and he came in and played a few violin solos. He's also a big Star Wars fan growing up. Watch, every single violin solo is going to be contributed to her because people don't finish articles. Anyways, he was a big Star Wars fan growing up, and those emotional violin themes that I've written, you'll hear in episode 1. So, yeah, that makes sense. Because especially since I have a feeling, I'm just guessing, but as I don't know how old she is, but she's definitely was around to know about the trends of music in the last 25, 30 years. Quiet to loud's a really big thing. And I felt like the grunge movement, that Pixies Quiet to Loud thing that really took over pop music in the 90s. I think we're seeing that rework today. I keep making fun of sad piano note in trailers. Bing, bing. Well, it's not unlike what you do get when you have that. And you have the big wall of distortion hit with the orchestra. Same organizational layout. And we're seeing that like in a lot of trailers today, because all of these people editing it were all Generation Xers probably who grew up with that music. And I think that's where that's coming from. So what I'm going with is, I bet you in totality, we do start with a very, very small violin themes, very, very demure, if you will. And then once we get out into the galaxy and the Jedi is back, then I bet you the music matches it. That's what I've always had in my head. It seems like the natural way to go. And I almost think that that's what she is implying here. But what are you in the process right now? I got to the end of the last episode. I only just finished, and I just feel like I found my voice. It's taken a while to get there, because you feel this paralysis at the beginning of like, oh my God, it's Star Wars. I feel sad to be stopping. I want to carry on. The interview has been edited and condensed for content and clarity. So, yeah, looks pretty good. It sounds like it's going to be pretty good. I didn't hear anything that was truly alarming there, as far as that kind of shit goes. And then there's this one other little piece. If anybody else has anything to add, by all means, if you guys want to do a little bit of, maybe get your violin out and predict what you think it's going to sound like, you can.
It's just cool to have, things rolling on the board, like just news coming out, and I'm sure we're going to get much more in the days leading up to the release. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm just excited with every news article coming out.
I would have broken out my hunting horn, but it's in the shop right now.
Yeah, I didn't want to put you on the spot. I was gonna say maybe you could put a little smoke on the water on your hunting horn.
The jazz guitar is a little rough, but the hunting horn's fucking amazing.
The fucking hunting horn. Yeah. Oh my God, it's really good. I hope I'm not sharing too much here, but both of my children were conceived to James's hunting horn CDs. It just really is good for making a baby.
I'm the
Santa
hunting horn.
I've been making elves to that horn for years.
It's like Barry White in that hunting horn. Yeah.
What's the fear of treading in Mrs. Claus?
So the Acolyte, intriguing details about 2 new Star Wars characters in production, start date exclusive. Okay. So there are tons of compelling new projects on the horizon, including the highly anticipated Obi-Wan Kenobi in May and the 3rd season of Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and the Acolyte. The Acolyte is one of the most mysterious of the new Star Wars series, coming to Disney Plus. Blah, blah, blah. 300 words. Got to get there. I get it. Okay. So Star Wars has been building a High Republic era through a series of ongoing novels. That's true. Many have theorized that the lead will be a dark side wielder based on the title of the new series. Acolyte is commonly used to describe a dark side apprentice, dark side of the Force. Okay, where's the stuff? Okay, 2 new character descriptions for the Acolyte. We here at the Illuminati broke the news of Amandla Stenberg's involvement in the Acolyte, with the actor set to play the mysterious lead, Aura. We've continued scouring for information about the mysterious Star Wars series, and now discovering intriguing new details about 2 new characters, Paul and Miri. Lucasfilm is looking to cast a Caucasian man in his 50s to play Paul. While we haven't been able to find many details about this character, we have learned that Paul will be a series regular. As of now, it seems that this character will be only a part of the series for 1 season. Lucasfilm is looking to cast a young black girl to portray 8 to 10 years old to play Miri. Miri is described as a lead guest star, and interestingly, it seems Lucasfilm might be looking for identical twins. I think the identical twins thing is probably less interesting than it seems. It's probably just to do a fucking Full House, right?
Right.
be able to, if they can get twins, they could use the children more and not have to jump through hoops if it's a big role. I don't know,
Mhm.
but
Probably.
who exactly the characters are, and then they basically just goes on to say. So here, one thing I want to say is, I hope I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I was talking to Bestman Bulletin when we were discussing this, and this does sound a lot like the other show at the same time, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Remember how we were joking, they were looking to cast like a 50-year-old dude for Grammar Rodeo, and then the
Grammar
kids'
Rodeo.
age is the same again. I mean, it's like this sounds in a way very similar. Could be two different things entirely, but also isn't it questionable, or not questionable, but isn't it worth going about the fact that both these are High Republic series, and it sounds like it's the same thing? Like, it makes me kind of wonder if maybe there's something to that, but let's just assume that it is a completely different show, and Acolyte's filming at a different time, and because I mean, I don't know what else it can be, but it is weird. It's weird that we have two Acolyte shows with casting two white 40 to 50-year-old dudes, like, for what sounds like the same kind of thing, and then kids. I don't
Is
know.
this the same report that said that Acolyte is delayed until October? Because apparently filming is delayed until it's same report.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I thought that was gearing up to film pretty soon, wasn't it? Next month or something. Next month?
That's what they're saying. But I mean, Ahsoka right now is building sets and stuff like that. So, and then I feel like Ahsoka might be a little bit more elongated than usual than what it was assumed to be. I'm not saying it has any trouble or anything like that. It seems like the shoot is longer than what maybe it was going to be. So I don't know if it's a bigger show or if they just need more time just to make sure they get it right or whatever. I don't know. But let's start looking at the chat a little bit here. If you want to make sure I get to it today, you can super chat. That's cool. And if you're a channel member, I will of course get to it. And I appreciate all of the channel members who support the channel monthly. That means a lot to me. And yeah, so we got Dale Erdman. Dale, how you doing, man? I hope you're feeling well. I know you've gone through some shit recently, and I hope you're doing good, man. And I hope that girlfriend goes on the journey with you from yesterday. And Mr. Baymax, channel member, thank you Baymax for being a channel member. And I gotta say, Baymax, you asked for something. I don't know how we got here. Okay, I'm just gonna say I don't know how we got where we are right now. But you asked Max for a picture of her eating a burrito like Daisy Ridley, and turns out Max will do anything. So here you go. And that's why Max is one of my best friends, because she doesn't give a fuck. She'll do anything.
Shit.
So yeah. But all right. Anyways, there's like a whole other life going on in this chat over here that
fucking hilarious. This chat's been fucking hilarious.
So Baymax says, Jason, the other day you said there's a thing that grifters are going to lose their shit over. Is that something you're going to drop when it airs, or are you going to wait and let it happen when it happens? I honestly, I don't know. When I see that there are forces out willing to hurt or destroy or whatever a show or Star Wars, and then if I feel like I have to go, is the juice worth the squeeze on that one? Because they're making it where I kind of don't want to talk about it. I kind of don't want it to go into a bad place, and I almost feel like no. Honestly,
I think you and I talked about it at one point, so I'm not going to give it away what it is, but I think you're better off not leading the witness and just seeing kind of where the chips fall with it. So I agree. I think it's better to kind of let it play out in real time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's like, and then what do I end up doing if I do that? If I put that out, then I end up making a bunch of content for people who won't even read my site. So fuck them, I mean, look. I make a lot of people a lot of money. We could all win, but if you're going to treat me like a second class citizen, then I'll just keep it to myself, and I'll have a good. I won't deal with the headache of asking, is Reba the main character? You know. So, Wesley says, when I look at Hayden, I see Anakin. Nice. Yeah. See that what I was saying though is that Obi-Wan was predefined by Alec Guinness. That I think is the big difference. Like we didn't really, white guy with pink face and stuff like that. You could almost have anybody come in and take it, But I will be a dick, and I'll go, really, because I see Jake Lloyd. That's the dick. Just a fucking dick. Baymax says, "Can we get a Max eating a burrito clip?" Yeah, we gave it to you, man. Okay, you got your burrito clip. You got your burrito.
Don't be greedy.
Stop being greedy.
I would really like a Del Taco burrito.
Yeah. Ever since Baymax became a channel member, he thinks we're real caring about things. No, I'm kidding.
Try the hot pocket.
Sure. Channel member.
That's how we hear it, Baymax. That's what it sounds like to us. Just so you know. All right. Chill on it.
Max, can we see you using 2 hot pockets as mittens? I'm just seeing how far we can take it. He's like, my hands are burning. You don't have to cook it, Max. Anyways, the young boomers.
All I gotta say is everyone, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, it's true. That was a great movie. The young boomer channel member, young boomer. Thank you, Mr. Boomer, or Mr. Young, Mrs. Young. I don't know. You could be a boomer lady for all I know. As cool as new planets are for the world building and new stories, I do wish that Space Reno planet was Nar Shaddaa. I think one of the issues that we come up with in that realm is I believe Nar Shaddaa has shown up in canon in other places. So then it would have to dictate the look and feel. It's not that far off. I totally agree with you there. But I also think that there's stuff with Nar Shaddaa and huts and things like that. And I think that there may be an actual story reason about the people who kidnapped Leia. It's not hut based, and it was so. I think that might be where it's coming from. I don't know.
I just wish Nar Shaddaa. I'm old school. Would have been the secondary planet in Boba Fett. Like if there was ever a reason to put that planet in live action, that was the series to do it.
You don't know your canon though. You can't rule with respect on Nar Shaddaa. That's the problem.
But that's why you go there and then you forego your respect and just fuck shit up.
Yeah, it's
sorry, and then you get your assault on Precinct 13 scenario in Star Wars.
Listen, dude, Jon Favreau thought about this for like 36 minutes and decided his main motivation was he was going to rule with respect. So what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do?
That's not
he's a busy man. He doesn't have all time today to think about character motivations into stories. Okay, give me a fucking break, Rob.
They were subverting expectations. We expected a good show.
Actually, actually, yeah.
I missed episode breakdowns. I missed the episode breakdowns. Come on and just rip it up.
Yeah, that's how I came up with cowboys and aliens. Yeah. That's how I.
That's a pretty good impression. The way you're kind of bites it, kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Former security guy, just saying. I got to pick up on the little beats.
I wonder if when I was reporting Space Reno, if they were like, it's Hong Kong, man, like behind us, the people who are mad that I leak. Yeah, but it would be nice. They would be actually wise to release a good-looking promo picture of the Grand Inquisitor, where he looks good, and I do, I really do think when you take him off of Tatooine and you don't have a big white bulbous fucking head on a brightly lit background, I think he's gonna look fucking a lot better. Like,
Yeah.
and I
They
think
get
when that one shot-
Ms. Leibowitz out there
Yeah.
to do some magic.
Like,
You know?
Can I just
So-
say that I think we're getting a few good images in the total film article. So I think we're getting something. We're getting a few good, better looks at the Inquisitors, and yeah. So expect that.
Do you think that total film will drop those online, or do we have to get the magazine to get those?
I think they'll drop them online, like
Yeah.
EW. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I hope so. Because I'm not going to buy a magazine. Like I'm not gonna lie. If they bring back Mad Magazine, I'll do it. That's the only way. Is
You
Reva
are
a big
why
part of the
Cinefex
story?
is dead.
There it is. There it is.
I hope it's sarcasm.
Reva's a big part of the story. It's not a bait and switch. That's a fucking somebody lied to. If I don't know if you're joking, but if you're serious and you seriously do it, you've been misled and lied to. I want to see Anakin in his Clone Wars armor. Yeah, me too. That'd be cool. Probably in the Ahsoka series, right? But for all I know, he has it in this, but I don't believe he does. Baymax, a comment on Santa's stream earlier said prequel hate at the time was revisionist history. Idiots like this must have been in diapers at the time. It was lonely being a prequel trilogy fan back then. Wait,
Dude, you know how hard it was? Hold on. I was in Germany when this shit came out. When I came back, I was the biggest prequel defender there was on The Phantom Menace. Do you know how fucking impossible it was in July of 1999 to convince any of my friends, adult friends, that was a good movie? Like I went and saw it in the theaters when I came here in July. I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go see it in an American theater. Like, only one there. Like,
well,
empty. Like
my experience and with all of this was the movie came out, everyone went to see it, everyone was like, yeah, and then the media were very hard on it. And then and I think that most people were just, I think if the media had just told everybody it was the best movie ever, I think over time there sort of been like, okay, but it changed in the changed online. An online
it got
discourse.
like a C plus or minus in Entertainment Weekly, right? Like I remember the big C. And it was the Liam Neeson Kenobi shot, you know, and the. I was like, what remember. What? Like, I was like, how's that possible?
I mean, it was getting like Siskel and Ebert were giving it thumbs up and shit. It was actually reviewed very, very positively before it came out.
Yeah. And if you recall, it was, who was it? Connie Chung that got banned from Skywalker Ranch because she basically came in there, did like interviews, and they gave her all of like their data that Lucasfilm had on audience that had seen it in terms of what their opinions and thoughts were. And it was all positive.
Well,
and
I
did that as basically she ran a report saying, you know, oh, everybody hates this movie, it's terrible, and they were like, fuck you. They were pissed because they're like, we showed you the shit that we have. Not, I don't know if their internal data is obviously rigged for them, but they were pissed enough to like do something about it to her and say you're not welcome here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there was
Maury. Oh, sorry.
So who knows? I mean, movies don't make $450 million because people fucking hated it domestically. You know, back in 1999, it's the second highest grossing domestic box office of all time at that point, behind Titanic.
Did it cross
people clearly did not hate it. It was still in the theaters in September when it came out in May.
Did it cross $1 billion worldwide? I was too young when it came out. Did it cross $1 billion? Do we know the worldwide total?
Not back then.
Box office. The international box office is way higher now than it was back in '99. It's like triple, if not more. But
so worldwide it would be about 800, 700 worldwide made.
It made more than Avatar. If it were to come out this day in the same amount of theaters and the same number of countries, it would have been up there with, you know, the big heavy hitters. But it was just a different market then. So you really get to apples and oranges. It's like comparing Michael Jordan to, you know, Oscar Robertson or something. It's two different eras.
Yeah. You
can't really use those to compare them.
Yeah. But what you had with the Phantom Menace though is that it was overexposed. It was on every Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut and every fucking cereal box. It was, you could not like look away from it.
Yeah,
And so on top of that, that's when I think the actual like backlash began. Star Wars moved from being this esoteric indie thing that only cool skater kids liked to the fucking nerd who reads Star Trek books was all about it now. And they were pouring Fruit Loops down their face at the same time. So all of that led to like a really big shift. And no, but it's like at the same time, look at what the biggest movies were. And if it didn't have a high level of machismo factor in it, the internet of the, I'm going to call it the Ain't It Cool news era. And that's not anything against them. It's not their fault. It was just, that was the way the world was.
Mhm.
And at that time, that led to a big backlash. Titanic. If you said I like Titanic, you got punched in the fucking face. You couldn't say I like Titanic at a party. You crazy? But yeah, you got punched in the face. And then
No, not 6'2", 240. You weren't doing that.
Okay, you were that guy.
Boy, 6'2", nice.
Yeah.
This is my muscle. Anyways, no, but you end up with like basically like all of popular cinema, like either if it wasn't really edgy, if it was edgy, it was cool. That's why like the Tarantino thing. And I'm gonna pull up his name.
I don't know about that, Jason, because The Mummy was pretty big. I don't think that at all. I just think that people were looking for
Mummy
fun.
had no exposure.
The
Mummy had no exposure.
If the Phantom Menace didn't have as much as people like
the Mummy
to say
sucks
the
dick.
Padres,
The Mummy sucks
fucking
butthole.
No, it doesn't. No,
it does.
It's fun.
It's terrible.
It's a great fun adventure. No, it isn't.
It's awful.
No, it's not.
It's a poor man's Indiana Jones.
No.
It's right up there with
no, it's fun.
King Solomon's Mines.
It has the worst.
You're out your mind.
Cheesy knockoffs of indie that came out in the 80s. It's right up there with
let me ask you this.
No,
then.
it's not.
How do we end up with a discourse about CGI in the prequels, but the Mummy's okay?
Right.
Because the director of The Mummy wasn't out there saying we're revolutionizing all the CGI and the special effects every day. Overexposure is the biggest problem for that film, including Lucas talking about how great all the visual effects are, and then they find one. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just too many visual effects. Ultimately, but the Mummy was good fun. 90 minutes, get in there, get out, have a good time, go back, see it again at the drive-in.
No, don't do that.
They weren't looking for more Grimlord. Matter of fact, The Matrix didn't do that well in theaters. It was on video where that fucking film took off. So edgelord shit, it's just not, grimdark edgelord shit is not what they were looking for. They were looking for
Harry
fun.
Knowles writing a review about how Blade 2 was like eating pussy. No, but that's what the internet was
but that's Harry Knowles, man.
He was the internet at that time. Harry Knowles, you could not get a bigger film site than Cool News at that time when the guy's writing about. I'm saying, but what does that tell us about the time?
Sure, but he also loved The Mummy, so like I don't know. But you're saying everyone was looking for super dark, and that's not the case.
No, the problem was the people that hated the Phantom Menace were the loudest assholes in the room. The people that were yelling and screaming were the people that hated the movie, and they got all the attention. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. So you had, I think it was a minority of people that go, "This sucks. This is the worst movie ever. They ruined Star Wars. They raped my childhood." That was a small minority, but those people were loud as fuck. And they
were my childhood shit, right, is what really irked me. Like that was where, because I'm like, man, my mom, I know people who suffered extreme sexual abuse. Like I don't mean like my preacher touched me. I mean really extreme, violence. And I was just like, at the time, and to this day, I'm like, just don't fucking do that. That's the first time I've ever heard some stupid shit. The stupidest shit I ever heard from fandom was whoever started that fucking line, I don't know who did, but it's just...
Someone wrote a whole fucking song about it, which is ridiculous, Yeah,
I'm like, my mom somehow managed to sit through Return to Oz and didn't go Return to Oz R'd my fucking childhood because she grew up with Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? Like that movie's clearly violent. It's super dark, bro. Super dark. Super dark.
Yeah.
Can I just go back to the Phantom Menace? And I was young. I was 12 years old, 11 years old when it came out. But wasn't Jar Jar really the first CGI character? And then you look at 2 years later,
who was a star? who was like a star in a movie.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
star.
co-star.
Or
You
Gollum.
maybe had like Casper before that, but
Yeah.
he was also sort of a ghost and wasn't truly
And was
like
trying to be photorealistic.
Yeah, it was photorealistic
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Was
Was
Jar
he the
Jar.
first mocap actor in the suit? And
He wasn't. No, that would no, he wasn't the first mocap.
Okay.
They didn't have that yet. That's one of the reasons why Jar Jar was complicated, and they were figuring it out. And then you get Gollum after.
yes, because my understanding was like Jar Jar was the first full CGI character, and he like star of not star, but like a main character of the movie. But but like
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just it's like you got like Treasure of the Sierra Madre if you like old movies, but then you got like all the Indiana Jones movies at the time. You got fucking Romancing the Stone. You know what I mean? And it's great. And then The Mummy comes out, and I'm just like, no, I don't need this shit. It's just a waste of my fucking time.
I can't disagree with you more.
Yeah, I know.
Can I ask
mean-
what came out first in the States? Was it The Mummy or The Phantom Menace? Because it's around the same time, May.
I wasn't in the States, so I couldn't tell you. I was in Germany.
The Mummy
Yeah,
came out first.
Mummy came out first.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I can't remember how that happened.
it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird though for me at the time because you had people who were really shitting on the Phantom Menace really hard, and it's just like, dude, did you see Independence Day? Did you see fucking Godzilla? Like you know what I'm saying though? And then but then the
100%.
but then-
Godzilla
but
was
then-
the one I pointed to. I was like, really?
Yeah.
We're gonna do this? You know, like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then
Independence Day
people,
was fun, but Godzilla. Yeah.
and Independence Day, I could appreciate in retrospect, but when Independence Day was taken without an ounce of irony, it's painful.
So angry, Jason.
Even Ewan McGregor, Ewan McGregor called it bollocks. Yeah, but and I, it's like I said, it's like stuff like that. It's like it's fun garbage, but at the time, you gotta like these things are like coexisting in a way on the same like platform, and then you just have to deal with a bunch of fucking people's really dog shit opinions about things, but it did go back down to the binary thinking. And the binary thinking was I could only like The Matrix or Star Wars. Okay. Or I could only like The Matrix.
Did the
or
console wars of the early 90s teach
Yeah.
us nothing?
It's still going on. People are like,
it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Or Xbox.
Yeah,
It's
Marvel,
like-
DC.
Yeah, it's really stupid. The actual winner is the person who has an Xbox and a PlayStation. They can do whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want.
Or a PC and a PlayStation.
And a PC, yeah, and an Oculus Quest, and a Game Boy that fits in their butt and vibrates when the phone rings. That feels good, and they like it.
Hold on, I got a call.
Yeah, it's that was me. I was texting you with my sphincter. Baymax says, "Is Spreezy about to hit the town with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman?" Like, yeah, he is, dude. That's fucking. That's fucking Miami Vice, Spreezy.
Posh man. Posh man in the house.
You got me.
Yeah.
Baymax.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you either are about to go hang out with Ryan Reynolds, or you may be trafficking cocaine. I don't know which, but either way, I'm glad to know you.
Probably both.
Chris is our best shot at getting Daisy Ridley on the show. Chris or Meg, one of the two. Like it's not gonna be us.
Hey,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
underestimate my kidnapping skills.
Appreciate that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And now the FBI is investigating me.
Surprisingly, not banned from Lucasfilm. That's weird.
Yeah.
And some breaking news for Jason. Ewan McGregor set to appear at Celebration. So
Oh,
breaking news for you.
Thanks, Baymax.
yeah. Yeah,
Just makes me laugh, but okay.
yeah. You and it might.
It's an ass exclusive. Get it right, Baymax.
Did we ever talk
Pun
about
it properly?
About you and being at Celebration? I can't remember.
No, we're talking about the Mando panel.
Okay. Yeah, we've known about the Ewan thing for quite a while, but it's
By the
pretty
way,
obvious.
how is Mike Mando not in Mando? Like, if you got an actor who's that good and his last name is Mando and you don't put him in Star Wars, how fucking dumb are you, dude? His name is Mando. Like,
do you want to know why? He believes that if his name is on something, he owns it. So contractually and legally, if he was to come on the show, it would become his show and he would
look,
run it.
I didn't help that, Jason, to be fair. You know?
It is weird. Like I have, I actually had this really cool one of the original Stormtrooper helmets that Don Post made
Cool.
when they were really high quality, and on the back of it in the mold it just says 20th Century Fox. It's like rare, weird to see like something that isn't Lucasfilm or LFL.
Yeah.
A friend wanted to borrow it for Halloween. I said yeah, and he let him use it, and then he put it in the back of my car. I forgot. It was hot the next day, and the thing like melted
Wow.
sideways.
Oh man.
That
Yeah.
was Laddie's wishful thinking.
Yeah. Bespin says he only wants to fight one person. I think is it going to be Star Wars' Bespin Bulletin or the Mummy's
poor-
Rob?
He wants to fight
That poor
Lamb Chop.
Jordan Mason, man. This Bespin's got it out for him. You know what I mean?
Question, Rob.
Poor
do you
guy.
think maybe you like the Mummy because you miss
'Cause-
your mummy?
I can assure you the two do not correlate in any way.
Fair enough. Star Wars Edit says, what's with that we're not done yet tweet all about?
Bespin's we're not done yet, right?
Yeah. Well, I think
It's got the
I don't
real
know.
belt.
I don't remember where we were at in the show, but we did the article that he was talking about. I did retweet it though, because there were people that when he said that were like, "Oh my god," because he used Kylo saying we're not done yet, and then so I retweeted that. He was talking about a sequel to the sequel trilogy. That's going to be a trailer's coming out today, and it's exclusive to Oculus Quest 3. And there were still people who thought I was serious. What can you
It's
do?
the
You can't-
Nintendo Quest 3.
Nintendo Quest.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Nintendo Quest.
Nintendo
Let's get it
Quest.
right. It's exclusive to Nintendo's Quest.
Nintendo Quest VR. Nice lamb head, James. Nice lamb head. All hail lamb head, savior of the sight. Bestman says, Rob's talking about eating ass and putting fist up ass. His wife is in for a good fight. A good night. Oh, good night. I think it's a good fight. And I was like, yeah. Whoa. Whoa, poor lady.
I think Baymax goes right to the wives. You know? classic Wales like fucking maneuver there. You know? I get it.
Classic Willow maneuver.
I'm gonna start calling them space whales.
Space whales. Space whales.
Yeah, good old space whales.
That should be Bestman Bulletin's new website. Space whales. Bestman Bulletin says at Santa, it was the guards, mate. Okay, what if he's a pirate? What if he's not actually from Wales and he's a pirate? He's like, it was the guards, matey. Nah, probably not. Oh, cool, I get it now. She's like, whatever, we're not done yet. Santa's like, I was done. Royal guards. I saw Santa says, I saw Palpatine his office in Palpatine's office. I saw Yoda throw them, and I don't respect them anymore as men or fighters. So Santa's hyped for Benny's theme.
Dun, 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 dun.
Duel of Fate.
Just
Hey,
Kenobi
reporter,
running
I
through
hear.
doors, getting chased by Inquisitors. You know, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Running around in circles.
Careful what you joke about, James.
Yeah, because look at what
that
happened with
shit
Book of
actually
Boba Fett.
happens.
They could.
It happens, and then you're like, oh.
But James, you knew it was going to be shit from before it even we saw the first episode. So
He says
Yeah.
everything's going to be shit. It's just
No.
statistically
Exactly.
speaking, he has to be right at some
Rob's
point.
mad because I'm always right about Star Wars, and so you know.
Go on the Mummy. Did you see the
That's
Mummy?
not
was
why
bullshit?
I'm mad.
James,
Rob's
you
mad
like
for
the
lots
Mummy?
of reasons. That's one of them.
Yeah, that's not it. I
Well,
am
I
mad, but that's
gotta be honest with you, Rob. Right now, I am really curious about how a guy who loves the Mummy and Avatar just doesn't love Boba Fett, because I feel like
It's kind of the same, yeah.
it's just such a great joke there. I have no retort. Like I
No,
don't know
it
what
wasn't
to
a
say
joke.
to-
That was just
that lodge. I know. Thank you. I know.
all right. I won't pick on you anymore. I'll let you go back to it.
It's okay. I'm drinking your tears on my Avatar mug right now. I don't...
Yeah. James Cameron, he don't give a fuck. He's already spent that money. James
The
Cameron's
only
like, I
thing
give a
right now
fuck.
I'm worried about Avatar 2 and forward are two things, right? One, I'm worried because there's kids in the movie. Like you never know with kid actors how that's going to play out. You know, say what you want about Super 8, the child acting's great. Like
Yeah.
they're really good. So like, but that's a rarity. And then 2, doing more research on the composer, I'm not that thrilled with. He was James Horner's assistant and an assistant to a lot of different productions, but his solo work is very 90s generic to me. Like, I'm not, I may be wrong on that. It may pull out a fucking winner. We all have it in us, but it's just like James Cameron. I'm like, all right, either they're going with like generic, we could just do the bloops and the themes for 3 fucking films.
Boom, 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 boom,
Right.
shit.
I'd rather they just get a new composer with a vision or someone with a proven track record for the production. But so that's where I'm at. I am critical. Like,
Well,
so-
I mean, Cameron's got a good track record working with kids. I mean, just watch T2 with Edward Furlong. I mean, his acting chops are stellar.
Mhm.
You know, it's
you
right
sat
there with-
there. I
it's
saw
right
you
there with
mumbling
Jake Lloyd.
that in your mouth the whole time I was talking.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
you're
just
just really
waiting.
working up to that one. Good job. All right.
I actually really liked the casting though of Furlong and Terminator 2. The kid, he did that the 90s angst pretty fucking on. As
The
a
only
kid,
problem with
he was
his
very-
casting is he's too old because
Mhm.
he should be 10. If she had the kid in 85 or not even that, like 7, like the time he should be 7 years old in that film, but such is life. You have to let it go.
Okay.
you know?
Well, I mean, Cameron redeemed himself with Terminator Genesis, so nothing to worry about with sequels to Avatar.
Yeah, when he writes and
sounds
directs
good.
a Terminator film, get back to me, James.
Okay, so let's 250 horns and flutes feels like Kylo not Jedi. More. Yeah, I think that's isn't that pretty much on for like a Star Wars production, in terms of like the it's not for the orchestra that Williams works with. I think that's pretty much what they usually go with around there. So, and I gotta say, I am happy though, because when you have these Star Wars TV productions, TV sound doesn't have to be good. The music doesn't have to be good. Oftentimes it should be, but I mean, I don't really hear soundtracks I want from TV shows very often.
The Queen's Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a phenomenal score.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
it is a good score. It is good.
But that's a rarity. Television's usually come with a cool theme, and then you forget the rest of the music. Daredevil's one of those ones. I love the theme. Couldn't tell you what was going on in the show. All 3 seasons. I love the show, but
I did like
Queen's
Boba's
Gambit. That score.
Boba's theme was good though. Those guys that are all like boom, 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 boom. I was like, hey, you guys sound like fun. Like when I heard that before the show. I was like, dude, we're gonna fucking go on a voyage right now. That's what I feel like we're about to get on a pirate ship with Boba Fett.
Because it was Tom Bobaville and the Lord of the Star Rings, Jason.
Yeah, I was like, dude, pirate with respect, because that's what I want to do. Yeah, let's do it.
But
the rest of it, I don't really remember now. Like when I think of that show. But I kind of never. I don't know. It's like this is not going to go over well considering the audience that we're talking to now. I don't understand why people listen to fucking film soundtracks though, for the most part.
I can't agree with you.
When there's so much good music in the world that doesn't require a picture to go with it. That you're not listening.
No, this doesn't require a picture to go with it. It doesn't.
No.
Stop it. Stop.
No, I'm gonna say
you're doing yourself a disservice.
No, I'm telling it like it is. I'm telling it like it
Yeah.
is, and this is like it is.
Yeah.
Listen to
Trying to help
music. Buy music. Listen to music. It's good, and just because it had a superhero in front of it doesn't mean it's the best music out there. We're missing out on a lot of good stuff.
Go listen to the Kirby and the Forgotten Lands OST. It's amazing.
Cool, man.
It is. I love it. What are you
Yeah.
talking? I
Cool,
got it
man.
right here. Like,
Oh
what-
man, good recommendation, man. From the guy who likes the mummy. Baymax says,
Licks the mummy or likes the mummy?
Yeah, deal ended like the Hindenburg. Yeah, at Celebration. It's pretty funny because I was there I went to all of that shit. I probably won't do that shit ever again. Looking back on it, I'm over it.
Oh,
But,
the humanity!
no,
That's the
but
one that gets me.
no, I was at Comic-Con when Baba Joe came out, which is an amazing fucking puppet, amazing work, and people went fucking nuts. But Baba Joe, who the fuck is he? He's nobody. But Dio fucking came out and it was like fucking Baba Joe was like, Baba Joe was Prince, and Dio was not even close to being the time. Not even fucking close. So
there was a collective groan at Celebration when he rolled out. Everybody was like,
huh.
yeah.
Yeah. That poor Dio. And I actually like, I don't dislike Dio. I don't think there's anything like actually wrong with Dio. It's just that they put him, they put him into a position it wasn't fair to Dio. He's just a little guy. Baymax says the Rise of Skywalker score was pretty unmemorable. Excited for what Holt does. The Loki theme was well done. JW is the GOAT, but dude just wants to retire. Yeah, I mean, I just don't really think he's, it's time for John Williams to hang it up. And if he does drop a fucking Duel of the Fates fucking ending to his career with this right now with Obi-Wan Kenobi, fuck yeah, dude, do it, man. But I am not holding my breath.
Do we believe the article where it said that John Williams called Kathleen Kennedy personally to ask if he could do a score for Obi-Wan? Do you think, or is that a little bit of hyperbole there?
I mean, I'm here to tell you, I gotta get an idea. It goes bum 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 bum. Fuck you, sign me, bye. And that's how it went down, dude. That's how it happens. Yeah. No,
I think a more likely scenario is someone showed up with a wad of cash at his door and said, "Could you please do this for us?"
Most likely they were having meetings with John Williams about Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was postponed dramatically in terms of time. He was probably still, probably at his age, probably still wanted to keep writing and working, but they probably changed the schedule on that dramatically since they didn't have final footage for him to score the music to. They're probably like, hey, we got this other thing. There's more time now. Will you do it? And he probably just agreed that he would do 1 or 2 themes to it or something like that. That's probably what happened. And then, but they're like, Kathleen, baby, I got this idea. It's called, you ready for it? Obi-Wan's theme. I mean, come on. Like, none of that really makes any sense at all. You ready for it? Obi-Wan's theme.
Really?
Yeah. It turns out they're like, really, what are you thinking? He's all, well, I heard of this thing all the kids are doing out in New York City, and it's called Scratch It on Records. It's like, that would be pretty good. I mean, he's catching up.
Hey, you never know. He's got the heavy metal guitars on the AI soundtrack. Maybe he's.
I'm a lyrical inquisitor. Right? Like you could just see him doing like, don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
No, do it. Do it.
Gets out the cardboard. Don't. You're old. Yeah. Don't. Breaks his body getting out the cardboard, dude. Like,
he just puts it right back, and he's like,
John Williams, dead at 92 from trying to breakdance at a Shakey's.
Well, what people don't realize is all this shit about like, Jimmy Page sold the soul to the devil to be the best guitar player. Shit like that used to hear about. Not true at all. John Williams did it. That's why he can die. That's why
Johnny Williams. He's going back. He's going back to his roots.
Going back to Johnny. Yeah, he used to be little Johnny. Johnny Williams. I found Joel Williams says I found a leaked Obi-Wan Kenobi track list. Track 6 is titled Obi-Wan Gets Blown by a Jawa. Yeah.
It's after Boba Fett. I'm like, well, it's possible.
Yeah,
anything's possible.
That probably
canonically
happens
speaking
after the Tika towel scene. When Tika removes the towel, that's where I would imagine it definitely happens. So Luke Jones says, "Is the thing people are going to be mad about another fucking SJW culture war topic? God, please no. No.
God, please no.
No,
we need that shirt. God, please no. Just for any time these dudes conjure up some stupid fucking grievance that doesn't exist.
They will still. I think they will find an uncreative way of connecting it still. So they will. They it doesn't matter. They just get the conspiracy board out. So Crawling Chaos, how's it going, dude? I'm getting hyped for Obi-Wan. Same time, a little bit of how it fits with A New Hope. Not trying to be a Debbie Downer. It fits with A New Hope pretty perfectly. And in fact, it changed how I saw A New Hope in a good way after I saw it, not in a bad way. And in a healthier way than Rogue One, where you're like, watch Rogue One, and then you're like, there it goes. Because I honestly feel like it tonally is jarring to watch Rogue One into A New Hope. I don't think it's like that good of a. To me, it doesn't really go. But this goes a lot better. So, but I do like all of the stuff running into the other films. I'm not against it. Just talking about the back-to-back viewings don't really feel right.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I think they should have done is they should have put Obi-Wan and Reva in a fucking CGI hot air balloon flown around in that for the sequel. That would have been a good idea.
Around Dantooine in 80 days. Huh. That's a good idea. Jason, you know, you're that's
Was
my
that the
shot.
second Mummy movie though, where they're in the hot air balloon?
Second movie wasn't good. It
Yeah,
could
no,
have been, but the
was
visual
that-
effects
was that-
rushed everything. It's not good.
Was that the second?
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, it's the second
Okay.
one with the Ewoks, with the little Ewok.
I remember.
babies. Yeah,
I
it's not
remember
good.
being like, I really want to leave right now, and nobody would
wasn't good.
leave. Nobody would leave. The young boomer says.
It turns out all the movies that came out in 1999 had really shitty sequels.
I think I remember. I remembered. This is true. I remembered. I believe sitting in almost the same seat in the same theater, but with a 40, watching The Perfect Storm, only a short time before, and I was like, man, I wish I was watching The Perfect Storm right now. Oh no, it was Space Cowboys. It was space. I got drunk in both those, Space Cowboys and Perfect Storm, and I was like, man, I wish I was watching Space Cowboys and Perfect Storm right now. Anyways, the young boomer says, odd topic slightly, but holy shit. I stormed a Trade Federation battleship in Lego Star Wars with Maul and Kenobi teamed up. The game is amazing. Credit to TT Games and free roam mode. Yeah, I'm having I didn't care about the game before it came out. You saw no coverage of it on the site other than the fact that they were fucking using slave labor to make it happen, essentially. You know, that was all we really covered. I didn't really care. My kids cared. And then but it's a fun Star Wars game. It's definitely lived up to what it was supposed to do. I'm even gonna say they're kind of idiots, because if they had just done all 9 episodes and then done another game that was like an open world version or an add-on, they could have made it so much more money, and it would have been justified. The game is, for the price point, too dense. I think they fucked up, but I'm not going to complain about getting a bunch of content. You know, that's like really good. I have my little gripes about things about it, like playing it for as long as I have, like the way that, like, you know, I wish I could just change my roster of characters out like in a much easier way. It's really hard. I just find it clunky and kind of like, and now that I'm like well into it, it's a bit laborious to like try to like my kid will play it. I'll come back and I'll have like Snoke and a power droid and fucking, you know, like all this like random shit. And I'm just like,
Hashtag first world problems.
so yeah, is that okay? Is that okay to hit on, or should I keep it that on the down low? Texter.
So
Oh, you're talking to me? My first world problems.
No, I'm just getting something right now.
I know.
During this, but
Beep 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 beep.
So yeah, is that okay? Can somebody answer? Okay, so yeah, so I got word we can. So what I am hearing is that we and the Making Star Wars team here of roguish gentlemen are that we're gonna have 2 15-second spots coming, no trailer. So that's about 30 seconds worth of footage.
Any day now. So it could be today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Should we order the Jack in the
We
Box
never
now?
specified. We never specified the trailer had to arrive before the series.
Son of a bitch.
Well,
Don't be surprised if you get an official trailer like around episode 2.
The mid-season trailer.
Yeah, you'll see.
There you go.
You're moving the goalpost further than Star Wars leaks right now.
So yeah,
That's what I do.
Yeah, so that's
30 seconds.
So,
That'll move the fucking needle. Like
no, you can't.
that's gonna be the great. That's like 2 Vader breathing Attack of the Clones trailers. You know,
Yeah.
like
I'll take it.
Well,
I'll take anything right now. So
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, this is the first stuff that is coming. We're not saying this is the totality. And bye. see you in Showtime. Nobody's saying that. We're talking about what's coming. And 15 second long things are going to hit. And
Mobile.
who knows what it is?
Ads.
No. It could. It depends on what it is, though. 15 seconds could literally be the stupidest thing ever, or it could be like the most amazing thing of all time, depending on what you're showing in the. If it was, let's pretend we're pre Rise of Skywalker, and Rise of Skywalker hasn't come out yet, and that 15 seconds was Dark Ray. Mission accomplished. Could have been a trailer. Could have been 15 seconds of Dark Ray. Corporation gets the same out of it in the end, I think. And so what if it's
a horrible analogy, though?
No. You're making a value
one 15-second scene in the film that goes nowhere. Like, I know what you're saying, and the two are not.
Art. Splash.
I hear you.
Splash. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
The
I hear
Dark
you.
Ray.
I'm not a fan of 15-second spots, dude. I just
I just the whole fucking
5 seconds. 5 seconds of the spot is like the title. You know what I mean? Like the logo. So we're not getting much new footage, but Kenobi, and then whatever we see, it's probably going to be quick little glimpses. But I don't know. We'll see in a few days. Maybe today, tomorrow. Who knows? But it's coming. So I'm excited.
Well, and then I've seen actual like clips from the show. Like I've seen moments from the show, like for instance, Vader's eye opening, Anakin's eye opening in the tank, and so there are things that if this can be now that we know this, we can evaluate what they could have done versus what they do, and what it will be, and So, but once again, if you just had that murky water and Anakin's eye opening. Moment, then that's 15 seconds that would make me fucking go, get in my pants, and I fall over dead at the end. It could happen. It could happen.
There's two of them, right?
But if it's 15 seconds of Obi-Wan Kenobi going, sand, Anakin hates this, we'll be safe here.
Why don't they just go back to tone poems if this is what they want to do?
Yeah, I love the tone poems.
I'm just saying.
Those are great.
Yeah.
No, they were good. They were good.
Like if they at least, you know what I mean? At least you're getting some Lucas stuff in there. Like 15 seconds. I can't wait for the Twitter ad to tell me a 15-second spot's coming as it previews through a bunch of footage, and then it plays it, right? And then you're like, oh, great.
What if it's like a Ghost of Qui-Gon? Ghost of Qui-Gon. He's like piddled on my pants. Dreams, ghosts, dead. Am I alive? Neither world.
Yeah.
Hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Huh? Maybe. Maybe.
All I can just see is Rob just hating these two 15-second spots, aren't you, Rob? You're just hating the idea.
I don't care what movie it is. I'm not up for. Ever since Attack of the Clones did that Vader breeding thing for like 30 seconds in the trailer, it would come and go. People were like, "What the fuck was that?" I'm not a fan of it. It started there.
But are you excited for new footage, though? Are you not excited for new footage?
Yeah, but 15 seconds is like, I don't know.
It's a tease.
Okay.
It's a tease.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
when I see it, you'll get my reaction. But in the meantime, it's like, oh. Okay.
Well, remember, they're not dropping 15-second trailers. We need to contextualize this. These are 15-second clips. They're probably going to. I mean, like we had that one for Boba that was playing during like internet ads on app. And you know what I mean? And it was like Boba. That was about 15 seconds too.
Yeah.
And
sure
actually,
it's not what we're gonna get more.
Yeah.
So it's not the final. 30 seconds. We're gonna get more as we get.
I would rather one trailer than any ad. Like I'm just telling you, like that's just me. Give us a second trailer and cut the trailer up into a million little things. It's the little drivel I don't care. And you could literally, it's weird. We live in an internet where people say they should do no trailers, just drop the movie. And then when they don't get a trailer, like where's the trailer? So I literally am fine with nothing until the day of.
Well,
but when
no spoilers, it's hard. No spoilers.
It's hard with the little itty bitty ones because they're generally dramatic, and it's hard to make me feel like to get a sense of drama in 15 seconds. A joke I get, right? A little action beat I get, but when it's like, dun dun dun, like 15 seconds, it's hard for me to take it seriously. It's a little goofy.
Well, we're not the
So-
target market for this either. So I mean, we really,
Sure.
you know, whether
you asked me what I
successful or not
thought.
is not
So I'm
up
like,
to
it's
us. We're gonna-
I have a you can't do that on television background. You think I'm the guy they're looking to for this fucking shit?
I got a fucking lamp shop. Yeah, man. You know,
Believe me, that makes more sense to them. Trust
Sadly.
me.
Like TikTok,
Try.
like that's 15 seconds, 30
Yeah.
seconds.
this
15
is
I refuse to
practical
use
effects
TikTok.
right here.
Dude,
Practical
some
effects.
cat got 1 billion views in like a month on TikTok and only made 15 grand. So if you're making content for that platform, you're an idiot.
Wow.
Like, seriously.
Wow.
A
Yeah.
billion views in a month only made 15 grand. I don't know. I don't know.
I,
what are you doing that for?
I got 100,000 viewing hours on YouTube, and I made about $2,000. It's none of this stuff makes any sense, does it?
It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort, man.
None of
to
it makes any
maybe
sense.
get a shot. I don't know. It's odd.
Yeah.
Just use it. Keep your day job. That's all I'm saying. Use that to retire, maybe ever.
The young boomer says they just need to show Vader. I still don't get why they're keeping him relatively hidden.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the fact that he's in the mix, and they're not showing us the mix. If they show us the mix, you know, little Princess Leia running around. You got all these characters that they don't want to talk about running around, and you know, then there we go.
For a show they want everyone to subscribe to see, they're really like can't show anything. Like it's really odd.
I'd be really shocked if they didn't show something with Vader before it's released. I'd be stunned if they don't do that.
I agree, especially seeing him on the promo art. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
to go back to what like Rob was saying though, like these kind of things, like they have to get general people just to understand this is out. That's
Yeah,
what
right.
that's what these
That's
things
100%.
really do.
Yeah. And we're
And
watching no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They know they actually like we're the people who they don't we're the people who want it,
Yeah.
but they don't need to make it for us because we're gonna buy it. We're gonna subscribe to it either way and see it. And they're kind of like aware of that to some extent.
I hear you, but what I'm trying to say is to get a person to say, hey, even though gas is costing me $75 every time I go fill up, and I'm not a big fan, I don't know if a 15-second clip's getting them to run out. You know what I mean? And maybe to be aware it's coming.
Yeah.
It's hard to say with awareness because, folks, you ever just talk to like a normal person
No,
about Star Wars?
never.
Like literally, there could be a Star Wars movie in the theater, and you're like, "Did you go see? There's a Star Wars movie?" Like it's
Yeah.
even with $150 million campaigns.
But
Like, I feel like
that's why Darth Vader
thing
breathing
Sony-
makes people go, "Oh, it's the Darth Vader guy. I know that's the Darth Vader guy. I know
But the thing
him."
Sony did with that, and I guarantee you that was a leaked, coordinated campaign with those Spider-Mans, was getting the nerds to chatter about it so much, forced everyone who uses Twitter and everything else to then talk about this thing that's coming out. They maybe didn't know the Spider-Man's running, but they keep hearing about the Spider-Man thing. Like, it's one of the best. Someday someone's going to admit how they marketed that film, you know, and it's pretty genius.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, I mean, look, this is the classic marketing. We're getting all the classic stuff. I have no complaints about the marketing of Obi-Wan so far. But if you're telling me like a 15-second clip over the next couple of weeks is going to get the uninitiated, the unfan to then go and give Disney Plus $20, $15 whatever a month to go see it, I don't know about that. You know,
This is the
I-
first clip,
I just-
Rob, the first clip. There's going to be more. There's going to be like if you saw Moon Knight.
Yeah.
they're more likely going to notice more about Obi-Wan from all the
Started it.
little end cap art when they go to Walmart or something. Just being honest, like when you see those big Obi-Wan, like when you walk into Walmart or some store and you see the big poster with Obi-Wan and Vader, that's going to
But-
get their notice.
Yeah.
I don't think that stuff is going to be be there I don't think they're going to have any Obi-Wan product
I
out
don't think so.
for the
Yeah.
show. I don't think so.
And Rob, I hear what you're saying, but I think the studios would be more concerned about not being able to control the narrative if it's just a bunch of geeks talking online. I think that scares the shit out of them because they don't get to control.
Lucasfilm doesn't
the
anything about
conversation.
narrative control.
Well, they
Like-
probably not, but I would think that there's such control freaks of that stuff that we don't want these, nerds, setting the narrative. They want to be involved in the conversation. at
I'm just
all
talking
times.
about getting Obi-Wan to consistently look. It's it's trending enough. I mean, we can't. It's doing
Yeah.
quite well, but
Well, are they targeting
considering-
kids or man babies or who?
but
they
look,
targeting?
considering the numbers Boba did, and it had like no presence before it came out. this is doing phenomenally well. So I don't understand how the correlations work, and they're always unwilling to say about it. And the only article I've ever read that kind of talked about this stuff was the Wrap recently put up a thing on Netflix's animation being canceled, right? And they were talking the kids division animated series like Bone and all these other series, and they were talking to one of the lead directors, creators of one of their shows got a Peabody Award. I don't know what it is. It's on the kids stuff. And they were like, yeah, Netflix shows us this. They called it, what do they call it? Like skewered data or like trick data. Like they were showing them numbers to justify whatever point they wanted to take anyway. So they're like, hey, we don't want to put any money or promote your show. Look, the numbers show no one's watching it. And then they're like, all right, but what about this? Then they show them completely different numbers. And like none of them actually matter. So when these companies hoard data and then they use them to justify whatever they want to do anyway. So when I see things, I just don't, it's hard to say. Like, but if you're asking me, Rob, are you excited about 15-second clips? Hey, I'm not excited about 15-second clips. When I see it, then I could get excited. It depends on what you're going to show. If it's Obi-Wan quietly doing this, like, no. If it's, but if it is that Vader crack in the eye thing and some cool fucking timed sound design and music, and that could sell it better than a 2-minute, extended sequence. And matter of fact, 15-second clips is something that probably would have done Boba a better shot than that weird conversation piece we got where they're outside talking about respect.
15-second clips is where I get my haircut.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I'm super excited actually about 2 15-second clips though, because that's 30 seconds of footage when I put them together, when I do my basic JSON math. And that sounds rad. I mean, at the end of the day, thinking about how short the trailer was, it could be really cool, whatever it is. I want to know what it is like the big question is what's in it? You know what I mean? That would be
I'm excited to watch the YouTubers go. It's so good.
Oh my god! Yes, I'm fucking crying right now.
Like, and all the thumbnails, all the thumbnails are like, right? Like,
wait, Rob.
Right?
You have to be like that, and I have to be like this. And then you have to go, is he mad or is he excited? I don't know. I must click and find out.
But can I just say that I don't think it's one specific. I don't think it's one specific scene. I think it's a montage of footage.
It's a montage of stuff. Montage.
Yeah, I don't think it's one scene of him.
Yeah.
On a bloody...
I hope it's the escape pod. And you're like, what the?
like I was saying, like the stuff I was using as an example, for instance, it's like a post credits moment. You know what I mean? Like the Vader eyes. So I don't think they would drop their post credits moment like in a 15-second teaser. But I'm just saying that who knows what other elements that there are to pull from like that.
Yeah.
But if it's a montage of a bunch of stuff, like we might be seeing, we might be seeing like new characters, Jabim. I mean, who knows what?
If it's stringing up Nari, that'd be great, right? You're like,
yeah.
Whoa, it's a dark ass show, dog.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, what? Like,
it's just a start anyway. And there'll be plenty of more before the show comes out.
It's fine, man. I'm getting it. I get the most excited about the shit literally seconds before it starts when I hit play. Like, I always find that's the funny. I don't expect it. I was just thinking about it. Even Boba Fett or the Bad Batch. Like, when we got new Star Wars, like, all right, man, that's cool. I can't wait. But when I actually load it up and then it starts the Lucasfilm logo, I'm like, oh, here we go. I actually get the most.
And I just want to say thank you, Source.
No, when Lucasfilm, not that. Woo, that fucking shit. The blue light special light goes off and the fucking helmets are all there. The pewter figures.
I hate that.
It's the stupidest fucking intro. I hate that fucking thing so much. I like the Droid Story logo better than that. All right, if you want my opinion.
Skip button, that skip button is genius.
I'm afraid if I hit the skip button, it'll just jump to the fucking end credit scene. Like, yeah,
a couple episodes that would have been a good thing,
it's drinking wine moment. Like, all right, this fucking thing, man.
Yeah, it's exciting times, though.
Sorry.
You guys are off the rails. Yes, sir.
Apologize.
No, I'm kidding.
Apologize.
Oh no, Peter. Peter's all they should troll us and have Obi on a Bacta.
Happy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's actually like one of the questions that I have is like I said, I'm under the impression that Obi-Wan is burned, probably his arm, and that he's put into like a Bacta tank. But I don't know if it's more like I think it might be more like that coffin that they put Darth Vader in for Revenge of the Sith to keep him alive, to get him to make him Darth Vader. I think it might be like one of those. And then I think I'm guessing all of those Force sensitives are able to use the Force on him and heal him like in that way, but or something like that, like how Grogu did, a little bit of child Grogu action on Apollo Creed. But I mean, there's like so much that they can show in 15, especially if it's 2 15-second spot. I guess you could probably assume there'll be some overlap, but let's be greedy and hope that there is no overlap. And if there is no overlap, then we would have that's like 30 seconds of footage of montage footage, which could really be a lot for us to talk about on this
we got the same
dumb
bullshit
show.
for Boba Fett the whole time. They kept showing us the same footage over and over and over and again. So
it's the worst. It's the worst marketing campaign I've seen for anything almost ever. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, it's worse than bad. It's who cares?
Yeah.
Like, that's
And the sad thing was,
I'm going to disagree because it was effective though. If the books weren't cooked.
Yeah.
No, that was effective. Whatever.
Yeah. That mid-season trailer
care.
they put out for Boba Fett was actually good. It was actually better than the show. It actually made it look good. If they would have ran that prior to starting the show, that would have been impressive. And then we would have
I would agree.
Horribly let down.
But every week, here's a new character poster. Okay. This time it's for the stash guy. Like, all right, chill with the character posters with the stash guy. I get it. It's fun. You got a Photoshop. You could just drag him in there, filters. It's done. It's fun. But just time out a little bit.
It's going to be important eventually.
Water guy? Like in the water, my water's getting stolen. I think we even got a post for that dude.
Yeah, water guy got it. Water guy, Stephen Root got a character post. Like, you got it. Just like at some point, you're like, they're fucking with me, right? And some poor sap at Celebration is going to be walking out with bundles of all those character posters he got.
So I updated the this article. New Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi footage is imminent, and in it on the top I wrote, update, 2 15-second clips 2 15-second clips are coming. This is just the start, more to follow. So that is the official word from our lovely, beautiful sources who cannot do anything.
We appreciate the sources. I'm not shitting. I don't want the source to think I'm shitting on their skill. I'm seriously appreciative of that. I think it's great.
No.
But we gotta have it. We gotta fill time here.
Thank you for helping us bring the truth to the people.
If I don't complain, they don't share the videos on YouTube. That's how this works. You should know.
Listen. When the shit goes down and Lambhead is doing the call, you will be spared. Lambhead.
You sound like MTG, dude. And then cut to a year later in court. Jason's like, I do not recall ever mentioning Lambhead. I do not recall ever.
You guys want to know? If you want to know, the biggest thing I ever pulled, it was Jewish space lasers, because they're Lambhead space lasers and they're real. And you're all gonna fucking see. You're all gonna be sorry. You're all gonna be sorry. But thank you, sources. You will be spared.
Thank you.
Your loved ones. I can't make you any promises. It's kind of like Thanos. You're just in this side.
They might be turned into purple gas for the new video game.
Yeah, into a violacious purple gas.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though, like, Making Star Wars reporting all this, and every other person on YouTube's gonna get
fuckhead. Every other fuckhead.
Yeah, every other fuckhead on YouTube's gonna get the $10 super chat, followed by the 20, followed by the 10, followed by the 15, and this guy here needs his recognition.
Or you will miss me when I'm gone.
Yeah.
But thank you to all the channel members. I do appreciate that.
It's prophetic.
Yeah. I mean, I will say though, Dengar was pretty fucking good in Book of Boba.
If you ever quit this, Jason, we should just then start our own nerd theory version for like Star Trek or something. We don't mind just making up bullshit for. We have like Power Rangers. We could just make
That'll
up
be
Power
a-
Ranger movie theories. You know, become those.
I know
Well,
fuck all about Star Trek, but yeah, I'll be.
I'm hearing that too. What's going on with Star Trek right now? Anything?
Well, we could just make up stuff.
No, I'm asking you
That'll be our
what's
thing.
going on what's going on with Star Trek right now though? Like really, what's going on? What's new?
I don't
Anything
know.
new?
I don't watch it. I don't know.
And
Ollie
anybody-
Shore was cast as a new captain.
There was
of
a-
the Enterprise.
I'm hearing that too.
Yeah.
Johnny?
I'm hearing that too, but there's 2 Pauly Shores. There's a lot more Pauly Shores. So
Makes sense.
yeah. I don't know. Johnny got mad at us and like blocked me on Instagram.
He got mad at us. I don't know
don't
why
know.
we love him.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Johnny could always come home though. I'll say that
You
much.
post you on Instagram for
I
what?
always
I
said
don't know.
he should front for Van Halen, and now it's just proving it right. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
miss
very
that little
temperamental.
fucker. I don't know what he's doing,
Ah,
but he's mad about something. I think he texted me like when I
You're
was up in the mountains
always
with my
welcome.
kids, so. You should always come
Johnny's
home, John.
always welcome to come
Always come
back
home.
and
You should-
talk.
yeah.
I like
Oh,
Johnny.
One
He's-
of us. One of
And
us.
Johnny's the only guy who could rival Chris with the hair. Like that's it. Like none of us can do it. Like
True, man.
Maybe that's what he's mad about. Maybe he's mad that we let Chris on the show with that hair, and he's like, "No, I was the hair guy. I was the hair guy."
There could be only one.
I'll wear a hat. You know,
Missed
you
that
can have
movie.
the hair. I'll wear a hat.
I missed
Yeah.
that movie.
all these, all these people are messaging me. Hey, you got the clips? You got the clips?
Oh, you got the clips.
I would love to.
If
I
you
would
had
love
the
to have the
clips,
clips, but no, I don't. I don't have
you
the
would
clips.
have.
I'm on a
you would,
show.
you would give us the description of the footage. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
but-
I'd be like, because like, check it out. So it starts like this, like Chewbacca losing his hair. It's getting older now. It's getting weird.
Yeah.
And then
Smooth
I'd
Baka.
be like, that's it. So
Smooth
it's only 15
Baka.
seconds.
Can't wait.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chewbacca with
I love
alopecia.
Smooth Baka. Yeah. don't. James.
Hey,
Ben Solo's
no one here's gonna
start
slap me,
slapping
okay?
people. Daisy Ridley will slap you. He's
Hey,
mine!
I would-
He's my sidekick
I would-
now.
I would pay for
But-
that. I mean, shit. I mean,
Junkbox gave $2 super chat and is a channel member because he's super supporter of the show. Says, keep the grift going. Go watch Clone Wars, Rob.
what if we do a charity drive? We collect X amount of money and we get Rob to live stream watching Clone Wars. He
Because
can't
then
say
he'll
no
just
to
hate, he'll
that.
just hate watch it though. He'll just be like,
Yeah.
"You're making
Unless
me do it,
Rob
so I
hates
hate it."
children. Rob, do you hate children? if you love children, you'd watch Clone Wars, Rob. See, now we got him in a
I
fight.
like children the way say I like adults, some more than others. You know, put it that way. Like,
Yeah.
You don't fear over children actors when they end up in films. You don't wonder this could like how many work out. That's why the Stranger Things took off because it's a rarity. Like that works.
Hashtag bless.
Anybody that's met Jake Lloyd in person should be very afraid.
No, I met him in person. He was cool.
I mean, it's not a bad guy. Don't get me wrong, but it was just weird. It
Mm.
was like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing going on. It felt like it was just like
you know what? I
Well,
was.
you hit him up
I
at his shaky,
strange
James.
things
He wasn't
going.
expecting you
No,
to come up there.
there's actually a
and-
bathroom at Denny's. But
Oh
you know.
no! I was at Celebration One. At Celebration One, me and my friend we flew out to like Denver, and we were there early. And when we got there early, a bunch of the people that were going to be presenting, like Jake Lloyd and stuff, and Ray Park and all those guys, they're all there, like looking at the grounds. And Jake Lloyd's just like running around. But what I found amazing about him is the kid in the movie that people say can't deliver lines. That's like literally him. Like he's like that. He's actually is a good actor. They just don't maybe think he's a natural feeling kid or something. I don't know. But he was that was his personality. Like he was like that, I found.
Yeah.
And I found it. So when the movie came out, and then there was the backlash calling him a bad actor, and like Ron Howard had to write that piece to Variety going, "Fuck you guys, grow up." I was a little bit like, it actually kind of shocked me because I was like, I thought he was actually acting very natural. But that's just what people really thought Sixth Sense was natural acting, when that kid is fucking weird as fuck and not like a kid at all. Actually, kind of like my son.
He's fantastic in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah. No, I just
True story though.
Oh,
True
yeah.
story though.
You see that,
E3 2010,
Mhm.
right? I was there for this game magazine I was with, and my buddy came
Wait,
with me,
wait,
and we were
wait,
leaving.
wait. Did you say Gang Magazine or Game?
Game
Because it would be
GAME.
cool if you were in a Game
So
magazine.
yeah, I know. So we're leaving down in the parking garage. I'm like, you know what? I gotta go take a tinkle. I'm gonna go hit the latrine. There's a latrine in the parking garage. I go in there. My buddy goes, I'll go too. I'm like,
I'll go
all
too.
right, that's weird. We go in there.
Liam Neeson's laughing at you right now. You don't got to do that. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of time.
And then Vern Troyer walks in and goes right through us and cuts us off and goes right into the only stall
did
that's
he walk
open.
did he walk between your legs? Did he like walk between your legs like right through?
Almost, bro. We were just stunned. Like, what? We got pushed aside by Vern Troyer. Just went right in.
One of my best
And we're
celebrity
like,
sightings. I saw Vern Troyer on Bourbon Street, drunk as fuck. Vern Troyer just stumbling around Bourbon Street. It's great.
yeah, he
Did
was
you
pushed
guys,
right
did you
through
guys
us.
see Molly Shannon on Howard Stern this week? She was on Howard Stern
No.
like last week, and she's talking about how when she got to Hollywood, she got the same agent as Gary Coleman, and the agent
I
did
heard
this
about
thing
the story.
where he gets her to meet Gary Coleman, and Gary Coleman like gets her into her room. The agent leaves, and Gary Coleman starts like trying to like jump on her, and she's like saying like I wasn't super afraid because he's like tiny, but he was relentless, and he just kept trying to jump on her to fucking fuck Molly Shannon.
Poor woman.
So random.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Man.
I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of hot when she's the weird schoolgirl. I'm kind of into it in a weird way. I see what Gary Coleman saw. I'm just gonna say, but
Like, holy Shannon, what are you?
but Star Wars Senate thought you said gay magazine. I heard gang. You definitely fudged that game part. Hawks Holocron says live long and prosper, buddy. Yeah, I'm hearing that too. That's what I'm hearing. My sources are saying the same thing.
Buddy.
I started something.
Space Weasel.
Yeah. Well, we are at the 2-hour mark, and we reported on big happenings in Kenobi. We had Bespin Bulletin scoops, we had Illuminati scoops, and we had big Star Wars scoops. Everybody was scooping, everybody was pooping, everybody was
Everyone
trooping.
was Star Wars scooping. Right.
Star Wars
I just fucked it up.
You fucked it up. Classic Mummy fan move. Classic Mummy rap.
Classic Mummy fan. That merch is coming to MakingStarWars.net soon.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but is it Friday?
It is Friday.
It is Friday, so yeah. So we will be we'll be off for the weekend unless those clips hit. I'll be back online with you guys if the clips should hit. If you guys want to come back, yeah, but when the clips hit, I'll jump back on. But I'm gonna guess it's 1 o'clock Friday. If we consider East Coast, it's about 4 o'clock, right?
Probably Mondays and business.
So I'm gonna go with they wouldn't drop a clip on over the weekend. So I'm gonna assume we'll probably get it Monday.
Yeah.
It's an assumption. I don't know. I mean, for all I know, it's coming right now. But Mr. Campbell says, "Woo!" So yeah, and Phil Spencer listens to video game soundtracks, and I'm sure Rob does too. And I'm just gonna say the Wet Leg album, it's kind of good. I would suggest checking that out a little bit better. No, but I do appreciate
Toshi Sakamoto, greatest video game composer of all time.
I do appreciate
Just
like really good like music in a game. Dragon Quest, good times. I have a good time with it. I do like it, but I gotta say, just, it's meant to be played, not listened to. What I say,
It's not.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, though, we'll be back and okay. I'm gonna let Phil get this one in under the gun. Halo is one of the best original soundtrack score thingies, and
there's a clip someone took from the Halo series where he dropped because the music isn't in the show. He drops down in the sequence, and they put it so anytime you cut to you can hear that Breaking Benjamin song playing like in his headphones, and then they cut into it and he's listening to it, and then they cut back and they're just watching him and it's way off in the distance. He's just listening to it in his headphones like Doug Masters would, you know. And I'm like, that would have been so good. Like, you know, it's just I'm not saying you have to make fun of things, but a little bit of fun goes a long way sometimes, you know.
I agree.
Like,
A little bit of fun,
allowed.
but hey, it was good hanging out with you guys today, Chris, James, Rob. You know what I mean? And always nice when James is able to make it, and Chris, fucking out there, fucking I don't know, you're like the fucking James Bond of Star Wars internet with this hair and this outfit.
Sorry.
This guy, I mean,
Step in my game now.
yeah, I mean, if the
Good luck.
composers,
you got a long ways to go. James.
I wear the fedora. I'm halfway there. You know?
yeah, you're not wrong. You do wear that fedora. He does do it. He does do it. But,
Halfway between the moon and Cincinnati, you know,
New York City.
Oh, New York City. Thank you.
What do you do when you're caught between the moon and New York City? The best that you can do, is fall in love.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.